We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie.
And she's the ever lovely Brenda.
We
What?
all just start laughing. Brenda starts laughing. I start laughing. Sophie's like, Brenda,
Hmm.
way to ruin my great intro.
Oh.
That's so sweet, Sophie. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
And he's the ever lovely Grogu, who
See,
is
he
just rocking it.
see he rolls with the punches. He doesn't laugh.
He's
Yeah,
awesome.
he
He is a
doesn't laugh.
consummate professional.
He is got like that stone face. And we're on the road with Mickey. This is episode 213 for April 1st, 2024.
Ooh,
Happy
April Fool's
April
Day.
Fool's Day. But
Wait,
more
I thought April
importantly,
Fool's Day was the 2nd.
no, it's April
That would
1st.
really be a fool.
That would be April
Whew.
Fool's if you were celebrating it on April 2nd.
Yeah.
But
I think.
more importantly,
Hmm.
Happy Easter.
Yes. Happy
Yes.
Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yeah. So, our feature topic this week is ranking the best fish and chips at Disney. And we're going to have a fun little um how's it what are we going to call it, topic,
Like a
however
round
we're going to
table. Kind of
discussion
like a
about
round
it.
table. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
first, yeah, so round table. But first, we have some cheddar from the big cheese, and Brenda, it's your week to start us off.
Yes. And thankfully, none of this is related to April Fools at all. This is all true. Thankfully,
Exactly.
especially this first one that I love. Last week, we had announced that Joe Rohde had been selected as a Disney legend for 2024. Well, further news is that Joe is back with Walt Disney Imagineering, leading a series of masterclass work sessions so that other Imagineers can learn from this awesome legend. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I love
That's
that
amazing.
news.
What a gift to share.
Yeah, and it's like Imagineers did that for years, and they were mentoring younger Imagineers, and
Yeah.
he's doing the same thing. That's just so cool. And you know, Disney can only benefit from that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
So
masterclass is like the only thing to call it. It's
yeah,
it's the masterclass.
yeah,
Crazy. Just thank you. Thank you, Joe Rohde.
yeah.
Awesome.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, coming to Epcot's Communicore Plaza stage from June 10th to September 6th is a new Encanto sing along called Celebracion Encanto. The show will feature many of the favorite songs for kids of all ages to enjoy and sing along with. If I was going to be there during that time, I would be singing along at the top of my lungs.
And everyone would be so happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they throw eggs or tomatoes or something to get me to stop.
I don't think they would have those, Daddy. Maybe they would throw chips or popcorn, which might only make you sing louder.
That's
That
right, because
might,
popcorn
that
and a
might,
Diet Coke could get him started.
that
Oh,
would.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
speaking of music and songs for kids of all ages, congratulations are in order for Disney's Aladdin, specifically the Broadway musical, which celebrated its 10th anniversary on March 20th, 2024. This show, which plays at the historic New Amsterdam Theater, is one of the most successful productions in Broadway history.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yes, that's
And as a
amazing.
result, it just reminded me to go and see if there are any tickets I could possibly buy. And I'm just saying they seem to retail for about $100 a piece.
Yeah, and then you have to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
someday.
Yep.
we have some listener feedback from last week's show, which was Gone But Not Forgotten from
Yay.
Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked the question, what are you missing from Hollywood Studios? And Deb posted that she loves Hollywood Studios, but she does miss the backlot tour and Mickey's sorcerer hat. Yay, Deb,
Yay.
right here,
Oh,
right here. And she
yeah.
also loved and misses the great movie ride. Sheila said that the Osborne lights during the
That's my
holiday
girl.
season, she totally misses that. And yeah, I get it. I
Soul
understand that.
sister.
Yeah. Donna said that she misses the backlot tour and the great movie ride.
Yeah.
And Chrissy said that she misses the car stunt show.
Awesome.
And
Thank y'all.
one last bit of feedback is from Aaliyah. You got to remember at
Aw.
the end of last week, we had a shout out to Aaliyah who won the lead role in Finding Nemo at her middle school play. And she said on the YouTube channel, "Hey, I'm Aaliyah, the one that got the lead. So thank you, Mimi, for doing that."
Aw,
I
she
love it.
is such a gem.
She
We
is
love
such a
her.
gem.
I love it. I'm like,
Love
thank
her.
you,
Thank
Mimi.
you. So
Thank you,
sweet.
Mimi.
She's so
Aw.
sweet. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, love.
just loved it. Oh, that was so awesome. I'm like, we gotta put that in here. So, hey, Aaliyah.
All
Sweet
right.
baby. Yep.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, that is our listener feedback. And now it's time for our feature topic, ranking the
Which,
best fish and chips at Disney. So,
which I'm going to take the lead on.
yeah, and I was going to introduce you for it. So just
They
keep
already,
stepping all over me.
they already know who I am, Daddy.
Well, I was going to say, and I'm turning it over to Sophie, who's going to run with it. So
Hmm.
I'm turning it over to Sophie, who's going to run with it.
All right.
Gonna
All
sprint
right.
with it as fast as possible. I'm kidding. We have at least 30 minutes to cover with this. So, all right. Let me explain what we're doing first. So, we went and Googled all of the Disney menus that have seafood on them to see just how many of them have fish and chips proper on their menus. And we came up with 5.
Mm-hmm.
Not 5 for each of us, 5 total. And our list today has 5 slots for fish and chips on them. So as you can see, we're probably going to have some duplicates. Not just probably, there are going to be lots of duplicates. So in order to make sure that this is not repetitive for you all, what we're going to do is we're not going to go 5 to 1. We are going to go based on a random order that I have selected. And you all will get to hear where we ranked these order and why. So I'm going to start us off, and I have all the menus pulled up right here, so that way it's easy for me to get to them. And I'm just going to start off with the first on my list, which is the Rose and Crown. They have fish and chips, just listed as fish and chips for $28. And it says that these fish and chips are Rose and Crown's signature dish, beer battered and served with tartar sauce. So, where are we putting that, everybody?
3.
3,
2 for me.
2, 4.
All right.
Now,
All right. Now
should I
tell us
continue?
why. Yes,
Okay.
tell us why, Daddy.
All right. The reason it's number 3, even though I've never eaten there, never had it, it's number 3 because of the wording. It's their signature dish. And I'm like, dude, if it's their signature dish and they say it on the website, then it's got to be pretty darn good. So it's ranked higher in my list, not as high as some others, obviously, but it's ranked higher because of that. And it just gives me more incentive to want to go and try it.
Nice.
That is a very good reason. Aunt Brenda?
I ranked it number 2 because next to my favorite fish and chips, it does rank number 2 for me. And even though you can find a similar version at a quick service location, I enjoy sitting down and having my fish and chips at a table service restaurant and then followed by sticky toffee pudding. There's
Ah,
always a dessert angle.
There.
that is
You know
very,
what?
very true.
And that is totally okay. We all know,
That is extremely
you
true.
know, it is true that when you're at Disney, there are no calories,
That's right. That's
You're
right.
right, because you're walking like 6 miles a day.
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. But
Well,
the
good.
desserts are
All
so
right.
great. A lot of my food decisions are based on dessert, I have to say.
A
That
woman
is
after
okay.
my own heart.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now that you say that, I want to move it up, but I just can't because I already said that it's at number 4. And let me tell you why.
Tell me why.
I have never eaten at Rose and Crown before. I'm sad to say that. I would love to eat at Rose and Crown, but I just haven't. And so, as a result, there are a few other places that I like more than Rose and Crown. And so it goes at number 4, not number 5, but it goes at number 4.
That's a great reason.
And you know what?
Yeah,
That's the beauty of it. Once we eat there, Sophie, it
it
may
might go
jump
up.
up. It might jump
Never
up way
know.
up there, you know?
It
So,
might.
all right. All right, Sophie, go on. What's next?
All right, Rose and Crown is done. Now we're going to switch up this menu so that it's really, really random, and we're going to go with Cooks of Dublin. Now, their fish and chips are literally called famous fish and chips,
Mm-hmm.
and they retail for $15.99. And their description says the original one and one are famous premium North Atlantic beer battered cod and chips served with house-made tartar sauce.
Oh, so good.
Where are we ranking that, everybody?
Brenda, you start.
I ranked it number 4
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
Daddy.
because I have not actually had the fish and chips at Cook's of Dublin.
I see. Daddy?
I ranked it at number 2. And it's number 2 on my list. Not because, well, because um it's really really good, but it's also number 2 at my list mainly because the seating for Cooks of Dublin is so hard to get
Oh, yeah.
seating that makes it a really hard thing
Oh,
to
yeah.
really make it work. And so,
Especially when you're going to Disney Springs with more than 3 people,
yeah,
like, say, me, Daddy, and
6.
Mommy, and then Jake and Aunt Sheila and Uncle Randy. That's 6 people that need to crowd around a table. It's
Yeah.
only really meant to seat more than 4
Or 2 even.
or
But
2.
anyway, that's the only reason. I love the fish and chips. And Sophie and I, we've talked about this before, but we talked about the fact that it's a shame we're only talking about Disney because My Way Tavern here in Raleigh is right up there with
There
the
you
best
go.
fish and chips
Oh,
at
yeah.
Dublin. So,
Oh, yeah. It's
Great.
practically the exact same thing. But yeah. Oh, well,
but
Ah,
anyway, there's
well,
my shout out to My Way.
Well,
yay.
much like my father, I also have Cooks of Dublin ranked at number 2. I love Cooks of Dublin. It is by far the place I go to get the most fish and chips. It's hard to describe it. It's just really, really good, okay? And I'm not one for tartar sauce at all. And I'm still not one for tartar sauce. So don't think I'm going to be eating Cook's tartar sauce. But their fish is so, so yummy. It is so yummy. And honestly, if they just had space to get more seating, I feel like they would do so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the reason it's not at my number one is obviously because I have something better at my number one. Not by
Exactly.
much, but at the same time, I have to say, whenever I've gone there recently with Jagan, the fish has been perfectly fine for me, but it's been too greasy for her, and so it causes her tummy to get upset.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, which
That's
is
not a good
bad.
thing.
Yeah, it's bad, but she still goes there with me for solidarity.
Sweet.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your next restaurant on the list, Sophie?
My next restaurant is the Yorkshire County Fish Shop, and this one is sweet and simple. Its fish and chips are literally listed on the menu as beer battered fish and chips, no description, and they retail for $13.49. I do believe that is the cheapest fish and chips that we have on our menu.
It is.
It is.
It is.
And
So,
where is
where
it
are
on
we
your
ranking
list?
it? Oh,
Sophie,
me?
you
Yeah.
go.
Well, I have ranked it at number 3 because I am always one for a price deal. I really like bargaining. I like it when things are not too expensive. And from what I hear, Yorkshire County and Rose and Crown are sort of like sister restaurants. You have Rose and Crown being the table service, and then Yorkshire County is the quick service one where you can just walk up, get your fish and chips, and then go. And so to me, that says that they have very similar recipes. So I think that's why they didn't even put a description, because you already have the description for the Rose and Crown menu. And so I just think Rose and Crown is $28, Yorkshire is 13. That is a steal. So I'm going to rank it one above.
Okay.
What about
I
you two?
I have it
Mike?
listed at number 5, and
Mm,
it's number 5 only because I haven't eaten there, but I also feel like that would be a really good place to snag something. Maybe when we're there in April,
oh
I will get
yeah.
something. And
They also
um
serve tea.
yeah, but my thought is that the price makes me feel like A, it would be a pretty good value, but also that it's probably the amount where I can walk around with it and eat while I'm walking
My
and
thought
not have to
too.
have a standing table or a table to sit at or something. I don't know
Yeah.
for certain, but because I haven't eaten at it and all that, that's why it's number 5. So,
Yeah. Where's
All
it
right.
ranked for you?
I have it at number 3. And
Okay.
it's pretty good fish and chips, and it is more economical. So if you're going after a quick service, it's hard to find seating sometimes. It depends on how you catch it. I mean, there are tables available like up the hill a little bit, but sometimes there are no tables available, and I like to be able to sit down and eat. I mean, I have to open my malt vinegar. That's another thing. The malt vinegar, when you do quick service, is in the little packets. And I have to have malt
Oh,
vinegar on my fish and chips. I prefer it to come from a glass bottle. But when you have to open packets of this and open packets of
mhm.
ketchup in some people's case, which of course I can't have, or tartar sauce, it's good to have a place to sit and do that. To me, and the seating is just limited. So, but I like it,
gotcha.
and that's why it's number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is going well, Sophie, so keep it
It
going.
is. It is. All right then. Next up on my list, the Columbia Harbor House.
All
Now
right.
this one is a little bit interesting because it does not actually have the words fish and chips on its menu, but it does have something called the trio platter. And what that is a combination of fried shrimp, chicken strips, and battered fish served with hush puppies and a choice of your side, which if you want to make it fish and chips, you would choose the french fries.
Mhm.
And it retails for $14.29. And so I have to ask, where is it ranked?
So I ranked it number 1, and it did change when it reopened out of COVID, they changed the menu. They used to have fish and chips on the menu, and they changed it and made it this trio platter with just the shrimp and the chicken and the fish. But but I still ranked it number one, and the main reason I ranked it number one is because A, it's really good. B, that trio platter you can share with people, and someone eats the chicken, someone eats the fish and the shrimp or whatever, and it's enough food I think for two people. It's just my opinion on that. Um, but the third reason is that you can find great seating. You know, you can sit upstairs and look over, or you can sit in other areas and just you
That
can.
is quite true. The
You've
Columbia
got a
Harbor
lot of
House.
and sometimes it's overlooked. So
It is.
as a place to stop. So
Yeah.
that's but it's number one on my list.
Now, Aunt Brenda, if I recall correctly, you are allergic to shellfish, aren't you?
Yes, and this is number 5 on my list
Yeah, I
because
was
I
gonna
definitely would
say.
not order that. I don't want things fried together,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
shrimp
Yeah.
and yeah, the fish and no. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's why it's
Well,
number 5.
that
I
makes
Easy
perfect
figured.
explained.
sense. That makes perfect sense, Brenda.
Well, there's also another possibility that we could do for you, Aunt Brenda, and that is an honorable mention, which is the Cape May Cafe. It's a buffet style, but they do offer fried fish and potato chips, as in French fries. And I'm sure, possibly, I don't know exactly what the kitchen stuff is, but as long as they don't fry it in the same thing as the shrimp and the shellfish, you should be able to eat there, shouldn't you?
Yes. Yes, I think that they have a lot of, like, mussels and crab legs and things like that on that menu. I don't usually go for that one, but it's
I
possible you could make
see.
it sounds like it's possible you could make a fish and chips out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, just an honorable mention. We might
Yeah,
tack that in at the end of the discussion, but
awesome.
that does lead me to my reason for where it's ranked, and I also ranked it number 5. And the reason for that is that I just never order it. I
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
it's a
never
good
order
reason.
it when I go to Columbia Harbor House. Usually, what I will get when I go there is chicken strips, which is weird because it's a seafood restaurant, but I just chicken strips only cost $10. They're the cheapest thing on the menu besides a peanut butter and jelly Uncrustable, which is a side, but it's just the cheapest option. And so I will go with that. So I never order the trio platter when I go to Columbia Harbor House. Otherwise, maybe it would be higher.
There you go.
That's a good reason.
And I'll
Mhm.
bet you in a lot of people's minds when they changed the menu and took standalone fish and chips off the menu, it probably changed a lot of people's impression too. You know?
It probably
Yeah,
did.
maybe some for the better and some for the worse. I mean, at least,
Yeah.
like, people who like variety, and I do. I like variety of things, just things I can eat. But for people who like variety and can't make up their mind between, "Do I want chicken or do I want shrimp or do I want fish?" And then they
Hmm.
get it all, that's a great sounds like a great choice.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah. All
But then
right.
there are people like me who are like, don't fix what ain't broken.
That's the truth too. Yep.
All
Yes.
right, which leads us to our 5th item on this ranking list. And if any of you have been listening, you know that there's only one spot left on our lists. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We're talking about Raglan Road, which I absolutely did not intentionally put last because it is my number 1. But the Raglan Road offers fish and chips for $28. They are the exact same um, description as Cooks of Dublin with one key difference. The fish and chips at Raglan Road are described as our famous premium North Atlantic cod fillet, beer battered and served with chips and fresh tartar sauce. In parentheses, it says, ask your lovely server for a gluten-free option.
Nice.
Nice.
Now I'm going to say this right now. That is my number one.
Mhm.
And I'm going to let you all talk about where it ranks on your list, though I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, because she's been filling in the blanks.
Yeah. Aunt Brenda, you want to go ahead and talk?
Sure. Of course, Raglan Road is my number one. It's always my number one. And
Wonder
I
why.
I just can't tell you how happy I am when they deliver that fish and chips and that malt vinegar in that glass bottle, and I can enjoy my fish and chips with my tartar sauce. And then after I'm done, I can enjoy my Gers bread and butter pudding, which is the greatest
Oh,
thing on any menu anywhere in Walt Disney World, in my opinion.
There you go. And
completely
see,
understandable, and I 100% agree with you. Daddy, I'm making you go last. Consider this your walk of shame.
well, I have it number
I'm
4.
not done. I'm not done yet. And
Oh,
the reason why it's on my number one
I thought
is
you already
because
said that you was number 1 and why. But anyway, go
I
ahead.
said it was my number one. I did not say why.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, Gur's bread and butter pudding is amazing. It's absolutely delicious and we love it so, so much. But again, solidarity for Jagan. It can be made gluten-free, and more importantly for me, I can get a very specific type of chips with my fish, and that would be the ones topped with the garlic and the cheese. That is delicious. Fish and chips with garlic and cheese on it. That is chef's kiss. And Daddy can look at me funny all he likes, but he's doing the walk of shame because he put his at number 4.
I did put it at number 4, and I'll tell you why.
Hmm.
Because when we ate at Raglan Road with Brenda and Butch and the girls, and we recorded our other half of our bread pudding episode,
Mhm.
I did not order the fish and chips.
Oh, you did not order the fish and chips.
I ordered the
I
shepherd's
see.
pie,
Yeah,
and so at this point, I put it number 4 because I haven't had the fish and chips there.
that's a
Now,
great reason.
see,
Okay,
Sophie,
that's an acceptable reason.
not so walk of shame anymore, is it, sister?
Oh no, it's still a walk of shame. It's just you have a good reason.
But in any event, I am pretty certain that the next time we eat there, I will probably order the fish and chips, and then it'll go up on the list higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only reason,
Yeah, that
because
makes
I'm
perfect
I'm
Yeah.
sense.
as- I'm as certain that I will like the fish and chips there as much as I like the ones at Cooks of Dublin, because I'm pretty close to certain, in my mind anyway, that it's the same kitchen and it's the same recipe, I would imagine. So
Yeah. It's
Maybe.
definitely the same
maybe, I don't
recipe.
know.
I have to think that it should be the same kitchen as well because again, Jagan can't eat gluten and they made her gluten-free fish and chips. So yeah, it's the same recipe, it's the same thing, but at Cooks of Dublin, you can't get garlic parmesan chips.
And you can't get Gur's bread and butter pudding.
Exactly.
That's true. You can't. Um, what I find amazing is just how much Sophie likes garlic.
Oh,
A
I
kid,
love
a kid
garlic.
that never wanted anything, everything was bland when she was a child, loves garlic.
That is
She
awesome.
had, what did you have on your
You
pizza last night, Sophie?
bacon and garlic.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And I have 2 slices waiting for me in the back once we get done with this. But listen, you served me Texas toast with every plate of plain pasta that I ate.
That's true.
And I always only ever took out the soft, squishy inside part of the bread and I left the crusts alone.
Kids often leave the crust alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all the vitamins are in the crust of bread. Hmm,
Yeah. Well, I eat the crusts now.
that's
Okay,
good.
good. That's good. Anyway, so that's why it's at number 4. No walk of shame here. I
Yeah,
stand
makes
proud
perfect
of my
sense.
list. I am proud of my list.
You
and my
rock on,
rankings.
buddy.
I am going to own it.
Yes, rock on.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that was a fun topic. Way to go,
Yeah,
Sophie.
that was fun.
Thank
She
you.
came on, she came on and said, we need to do this differently. And I said, I don't like change. And she said,
And
suck
I
it up,
said,
Buttercup.
because I said they are going to be hearing the same 5 things over and over again. The least we can do is make it fun.
Yeah, great
So
job.
before we close this feature topic out, let's ask the question for our listeners. What is your ranking and why? I will post it in the Facebook group and let's see what we get for answers.
Yeah.
Because you're right, Sophie. There's only 5 plus an honorable mention if you make your own fish and chips from Cape May Cafe.
Yep.
So there's limited choices. And I got to tell you, Sophie and I both went through a lot of the menus to make sure, because we were searching seafood and then looking at menus.
Yep.
And
But all of them always have grilled or seared fish, and it's always salmon. It's never cod.
yeah.
Oh,
So anyway,
I hate salmon.
but it was a fun topic.
Yeah,
It was.
So anyway, we will hear back and we'll report next week on what you all think is your ranking. So,
yay.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So now it is time for this day in Disney history for April 1st. Sophie, take it away.
All right. April 1st. The year is 1946. The Second World War has just ended, and animator Frank Thomas, one of Walt's the 9 old men, returns to work at the Disney studio after serving 4 years in the Army Air Corps during the Second World War. Welcome home.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Wow. Yes. Good history, Sophie. I love the history. It's probably
Thank
one of
you.
my favorite segments.
Yeah, I quite like it too because I like history.
All right. So, are you ready to stump the Soph
Dun,
or
dun,
not
dun.
stump the Soph?
Stop
You,
the
let's
soap.
be real, you're never gonna stump me.
I stump you sometimes.
You're never gonna stump me today.
You're right. Today, I doubt I will stump you. So, let's just see where it goes, though. This character is no stranger to rejection.
No stranger to rejection.
You ready for the next clue?
Yes.
This character considers himself a maker, not a taker.
Flick from A Bug's Life.
No, but that's a really good guess. But it's not Flick.
No?
No.
Okay, keep going.
And this is the giveaway.
Taker, not a taker.
Any
Yeah.
ideas, Brenda?
I have an idea, but I'm sure it's wrong. Go ahead.
Okay. This character is living his dream of cooking.
Remy from Ratatouille.
It is Remy.
Yay,
That's why I
that's
said that was the
fantastic.
giveaway.
Yay.
Was that
yeah,
your
that
idea,
definitely was
Brenda?
not what I was thinking of. No.
What were you thinking?
When he said the first clue, I thought Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, that's a good
Quasimodo,
thought,
you're
too,
right.
And then the
You're
second
right.
clue, I couldn't make it fit in. And then
Yeah.
I was lost after that.
Yeah.
Great, Sophie.
So I have some.
you.
Did you know? I can't believe we'd never done Remy before.
I can't believe it
I
either.
can't
That's
believe
great.
either.
But anyway, here you go. Did you know that Remy has, get this, 1,150,070 hairs on his body?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. For a second, I
And
thought you said he was going to say he had 1 million blah, blah, blah brothers. And I'm like,
That's what I
excuse
thought he was going to say.
well, you never know. And then, did you know that Remy is ranked 41st in Empire Magazine's 50 Best Animated Movie Characters?
Ooh.
And Remy makes a cameo as Rem-E robot in Wall-E.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
Makes a
I didn't know
cameo
that.
as a Rem-E robot in Wall-E. Google it up, Sophie, and show us the picture. Because I
Cameo.
can't.
Dash
Wall-E.
E robot.
Rem-E
I did not know that.
Rem-E
in
cameo
the
Wall-E.
Wall-E.
Oh, that little computer mouse that was crawling all over
Oh, that makes
Eve
sense.
when. Okay, hang on.
Go ahead and show us.
Yeah, hang on.
That makes perfect sense. It would be a little
There we
mouse.
go. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but like you see here, that is, so you have Eve, she's in the trash disposal place, and there is a mouse. Well, there are tons of mice, computer mice, all over her. And then this is,
Oh my gosh, I mean, who can see that? Like, who
I
can
can't
spot
see it
those
either.
things?
Yeah.
obviously whoever made the movie.
Exactly. Exactly. It had to have come from the top.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's my trivia.
Yay. Great
Or
job,
that's my
Sophie.
I
Thank
stumped
you.
the Soph. Good job, Sophie.
As always.
All right. Well, that takes us. Brenda, you're going to close us out. A little bit of Walt.
All right. The future of the animated educational movie seems as limitless as the variety of things we can portray in it. Walt Disney.
Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it is limitless.
Limitless,
You know?
totally.
It
Yeah.
is.
As long as we use our imaginations, it's the sky is the limit, you know?
That's
Mhm.
right.
So, yeah.
That's right. Sky's the limit.
Good job, Walt. Good
Yeah.
quote. Thank you, Brenda,
Oh.
for sharing it.
You're welcome. Thank you, Walt.
Well, that concludes our topic this week and our show for this week. Next week, we like our ranking. I like to rank things.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's
we
just-
like ranking.
It's just who I am, I think. And next week, we are ranking our top 3 Disney souvenirs. We have done a souvenir episode before.
We have.
But we've also incorporated a lot of other things since that show. Because that show was done way back in the day. I don't even remember what number it was.
It was
But-
way back when I first started joining you regularly, right after
So,
you asked me
like-
to join.
In the 50s or 60s, yeah. In the number. So
Let's
So,
see
like-
here.
I've gone
like-
through 2 houses since then.
Sophie's gonna go and look this up.
But anyway, so we are going to reapproach this and we're going to talk about ranking our top 3 Disney souvenirs.
Mhm.
So at the very least, we might have some changes from that other episode, or maybe we just
Our
rehash it.
favorite Disney collectibles.
Collectibles.
Yes.
Yes. When was it?
Season 2, episode 9, which basically means it was episode 59. Because
Episode
there
Wow.
were
59.
50 episodes in season 1, and then we stopped with the seasons thing.
Yeah. And so
Been a while.
it was in the 50s.
Yep, there
Yeah.
go. There
You know?
go.
Well, anyway, so that is our topic next week. We hope you all have a great week, that whatever you're looking to do and get done is accomplished, and that you have an awesome week ahead, and that you have enjoyed our show, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, I'm Mike, she's Sophie, that's Brenda, and he's Grogu, signing off. As always, what's he say?
And he says, "May the force be with you, and happy Easter."
Yes.
Yes.
And we will.
See,
you
you on
on
the
the
road.
road.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.